Welcome back to North London. This place has been expectant all night long. They've seen a 9-dart leg from Christian Kist, but that was at the end of the first set, the only set that he won against Matas Razma. After that, the Latvian #1 would win 3 consecutive sets by 3 legs to 1. After that, we saw Ricky Evans survive a lot of missed chances by Australia's Gordon Mathers, and Jim Williams will be on his way back to Prestine on the Welsh-English border, thinking, how on earth did I miss 7 match darts? So Williams is gone. We have a Philippines representative in the second round, but we don't have an Australian through after that game with Evans. Your thoughts, Mace, on Ricky and what he must improve on when he plays Chisnall in the next round?
Well, I think it may be an unfortunate situation. Chizzy's had a back problem for the last 6 months or so. His form is in absolute tatters. He's unable to put in the graft required, and unless it's a case that Chizzy just gets up there and plays through the pain barrier, it's a great opportunity for Ricky Evans to make his 6th round of 32. But yeah, Gigi tonight, probably the same as Kist, probably the same as Jim Williams, will be on their way home scratching their head going, how on earth am I out? And I don't think that theme will follow in this one. I expect to see the former 2-time semi-finalist Aspinall come out and maybe put down a bit of a marker. He's playing Leonard Gates, whose seasonal numbers are okay, 87-38. He played a Menzies, who tonight played like Gigi, just missed double after double after double. Even though Aspinall has had a tough time with injury, still got a seasonal average of nearly 95.
Well, I can say categorically, as John McDonnell graces the stage, that I'm very much a darts man. Chris Mason is very much a darts man, but the man about to walk onto the stage is a soul man.
A winner of the North American Darts Championship and a CDC Continental Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, making his 2nd appearance, will you please welcome the soldier, Leonard.
Nico, if there's anybody that loves darts more than Leonard Gates, I'm yet to meet him.
This guy just loves this sport. He was a minor league pitcher in baseball, and he was pretty good. And he started playing darts because around some of his friends who were playing, he said, oh, I'll have a go at that. And then he realized he was pretty good.
And he really made a name for himself. He went to a qualifier in the seniors, won that. Next day, started playing in the tournament, won the whole tournament. And he's up on stage dancing with our girls on stage, our PDC dancers. Oh, he's having a right funky up there, Nico. James Brown, eat your heart out.
Give me Leonard Gates every day. There are certain dart players that try to dance. This guy can, and he can also play a bit as well. He played Stephen Bunting in the second round the last time he was in this championship a couple of years back. And after a 1-year absence, he's back to try and upset the odds, because he's now about to take on someone who is about to lift the roof off this place. This is one of the premier darts walk-ons for one of the best players the PDC has had for the last 5 or 6 years.
World Championship semi-finalist, it's time to meet the Aspinall.
His style of play is unpredictable, and it's a bit like if you fight an unorthodox boxer, they're a nightmare because they just don't do anything normal.
Oh, you can't beat a bit of late night Alexander Palace a cappella. Fantastic stuff, and I'm sure even though that is the umpteenth time that Aspinall has graced the stage with that walk-on song, that will have had the hairs on the back of his neck standing well up.
Well, when he did the exhibition last week down in Ilkeston Town Football Club, he's gone to the back of the hall with the microphone and actually sang it with everybody in there on his way to the stage. It was quite remarkable. There was no one was sat down.
The 2-time semi-finalist from the 2020 championship and the 2019 championship, where he lost to two eventual runners-up in Michael Smith and Michael van Gerwen.
That was really his breakthrough years, wasn't it, around that kind of time?
Yeah, winning the UK Open in 2019, but then losing the Premier League final to Glen Durrant in 2020. Just set him back a little bit, but he did respond in 2022 by winning the World Match Play.
Yeah, and he was fabulous. Well, we commentated on that match play, of course, and I can remember that the final against Johnny Clayton, who was going through his own troubles at that time with his father, and it very much felt like for the first two sessions of that, like he was hanging on to the coattails of Johnny Clayton, and then all of a sudden he hit the boost button and was gone.
I do beg your pardon, that was in 2023, because he was the defending champion when we brought you the World Match Play on talkSPORT 2 over the summer, which was won by Luke Humphries over
45.
MVG. MVG we will see pre-Christmas. Humphries we'll see post-Christmas, because he's already there after winning on the opening night. Aspinall throwing a 26-gram target dart is still being serenaded by the crowd, but one of the biggest challenges for him this season has been the dreaded capital D.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if he says he's got the yips, he's got the yips, but I think it's more listen, you're a golfer. If you get down and you go to play a shot and you're not quite happy, you'll pull the club away, readdress it, and then get back into position. And I think that's more of an issue with him. He's not comfortable, so he will take a bit like a snooker player. They get down on the shot, they don't like it, they get up.
55.
Aspinall, leg one, down to 206. Gates against the throw, only 10 points adrift.
And Gates throwing a very long, uniform style tungsten barrel with a little bit of black undercoating on it, with an intermediate black carbon fibre stem and a moulded flight, which is predominantly white. He's throwing a very long point in this tournament as well. He's on 76 in this first leg of the contest. Single 20, just above the treble 20 there, but he's on tops. His first start at a double is low by a centimetre and a little bit more. And Aspinall on his own throw, the Englishman, looking very mean right now in the first leg. Needs 110. He's got the treble 20. Staring down that single 18, gets it, and double 16 missed to the left, so Gates comes back.
Yeah, not a million miles away. One thing Leonard is particularly good at is his finishing. His counting's been questioned, but once he knows what he wants, he does tend to hit it. Not this time. He's using them funny little plastic.
Oh, the sleeves on the point.
On the point, yeah.
You don't like those, do you?
No.
Nathan likes that. Hits double 16 right in the middle to hold his throw in the first leg of the contest on talkSPORT 2.
And he looks at his friends and sponsors and management team with a look of, ooh, that was a bit fortunate.
Well, the thing is, Nathan Aspinall has not played a lot of darts recently. He's only won 53% of his games this year. He was 5th in Premier League darts, which is largely forgotten, but post-Premier League. And that finished in May. He's not played a lot.
No. But I tell you what he has been doing. He's been doing a lot of exhibition work. And I had this conversation with him, and he said, look, it's keeping me sharp. I'm not playing against people from the crowd. I'm playing against the likes of Gezi and Luke and Michael Smith and Joe Cullen. He said, I'm sharp. And, well, he's as good as his word, because he looks okay to me.
For many years now, Aspinall has been the best player in his management stable.
60.
Not anymore, because Littler is in the same stable. 2-6-1 Aspinall in the second leg of the contest. We're in the first set.
43.
And only 43 for Nathan leaves 2-1-8. Gates on 2-8-1 is in a position to attack here.
Yeah, Aspinall won't be too concerned, because it's on the Gates throw, and if you're in front on your opponent's throw at any point,
59.
you think, I've got an opportunity here, and he's got one now. 2-8, Gates 2-2-2, single 20 below. Oh, comes for cover, finds it beautifully twice. 1-3-4 to leave 84. Gates stranded back on 2-2-2.
Don't do it, Lenny. We don't need too many Lenny. He's gone south after the single 20. And he's done something very calculated there. 96 leaves 126. Aspinall on 84. Single 20 over to the 14s now. What does he want to do? Does he want to gamble on the treble?
No. Made sure. Bullseye. Gets it. Pins it. 15 dart break of throw. Aspinall leads 2-0 in set one.
Over the course of the tournament, we're going to try something out with everybody on talkSPORT 2, listening wherever you are. If it's on your smart speaker, it's on your smart device. Does a bullseye hit sound different to anything else? Because we believe it does. It has an extra pop to it.
Yeah, it's a different kind of... It's like everywhere else on the board is a ping. The bullseye's a bit of a thud.
Well, I'm going to go full Harry Enfield here with the old Fab FM and say a good night to all you truckers out there.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of truckers out there listening to the PDC World Darts Championship.
I think the most contacts I get are for the biggest response when I'm on the road or out and about. Cab drivers, truckers, warehouse workers and husbands being dragged around the shops, especially post-Christmas when the Boxing Day sales start.
60.
You don't want to spend time with a dart player that's been eliminated from the World Darts Championship, because on Christmas Day they'll be miserable. They want to be on the practice board. 2-0 Aspinall in the first set here. Things are going according to plan. It's not glistening from Nathan, it's just good enough. The doubles are good at 2 out of 3. That 140 is his second of the contest, and he is now on 101 to win the set.
He looks like he's got gears in the locker though, doesn't he? He's bouncy, he's switched on, he's focused. There's no real interaction now with the crowd. Great 140 from Gates, down to 106. But first dibs go to Aspinall on 101 for the first set.
He's going to stay on the 20s for this one. Has a little reset there, part of his game. First start's a small 5. That's okay. He's got to get a single at some point. Next start isn't a treble 20, so he's not going to take it out at this visit. Only 45, leaves 56.
Do you think he was caught in two minds there, 20 or 19?
Maybe. Does he get another goal to win this set by 3 legs to 0? Gates on 106 has got 86 with the last 2. Gets the treble 18, double 16-4. The man from Houston, and apparently Houston, we don't have a problem. 2-1 Aspinall in the first set. This one could go very, very late, and we want that.
Well, my tip for this game was for Gates to have over 2.518 is at even money, because of that very reason. Both 60. Me and you felt that Gates was going to get some out of this match. Not necessarily win it, but we certainly thought he was going to push Aspinall hard, which meant the game was going to have a lot of legs. So the chances of 180s were going to be there.
140.
Over the course of the early part of the year, Nathan was toying with what I call darts that had been on a diet, because he'd reduced his barrel weight by about 4 grams, going to a streamlined type because he wanted to score more 180s. He's gone to his original barrel now, which is a bit heavier and thicker, but he has changed his stem and flight to a moulded kind, because over the last 6 years he's predominantly been using a folded flight, which comes flat in the packet.
Yep, very similar to, well, that's the traditional. Don't see a lot of them nowadays, do you? A lot of players have gone for the moulded type because they're perfectly square, and I use a very old-fashioned flight, and sometimes even when they're brand new and you try to square them up, they'll still be slightly out of shape, which affects the flight of the dart, of course.
How many players in the top 4 in the world use moulded flights? None.
Wow, great stat, Nico.
There aren't many.
That's why you get the big bucks on.
There aren't many people in the top 10 in the world who have moulded flights. I don't think that's an accident.
I agree. Well, it speaks for itself, doesn't it?
208 Aspinall, the number 12 seed in this tournament. He could tumble down the rankings just like Michael Smith if he's not careful. That's a really good switch to the 18s. He gets 94 total to leave 114. That will be to win this set before things get really twitchy. Gates trying to get to a finish from 2-4-1 here, using his cover shots, but only getting 1 treble to leave himself on 1-4-6.
Yeah, Aspinall leads 2-1 in set 1, 1-1-4 for the set. Should be treble 20, not unless there's a new way. Gets the treble 20.
Single 14 right in the heart. Double top, Aspinall in front in sets. Punctuates the first set with a ton-plus finish. They've got one each. But when it comes to sets, it's only the man from Stockport, who now lives in Glossop in Greater Manchester, who has won that first set. He's going to be very happy, and even though he's leaving the stage right now for a comfort break, he signals to his friends and family that he felt a little bit nervous there. But with a 91.31 average in that first set, it's more than good enough to take the lead. We'll be back after the break as Aspinall takes an early lead of 1-0.
I hope you don't mind me asking. We had two lads on who obviously are trying to establish themselves as the best in the world, and now the new faces of darts. How much does that motivate you to puff your chest out a little bit and say, I'm still the man?
Listen, I've been doing this for 15 years. They've been doing it for 1.5 year. Luke Littler, not even a year. So they have still a long run to go. So we're going to target 5 years' time. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
But they're doing really well at the moment, and they've been their credit for the sport of darts and how more competitive it is, how better it is.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to the battles. Even I didn't perform well in the last 12 months. I still played, I think, Littler 12 times. I still beat him 6 times. He beat me 6 times. You know what I mean? So
but I just mean, as you get older as athletes, you need a new reason, don't you, to get up and do it.
You always, it starts where you need to have joy in what you do.
Yes.
And after that, you need to have dedication, and from there on, and of course, talent. Because without talent, I can practice football 24 hours a day and never going to be a great footballer. But you need the total package has to be right. And always set yourself a target. Sometimes they ask me, what's your target? I love what I do, so that's my target. You know what I mean? I like it. I like to perform on stage and make myself and everyone in the crowd and people at home happy. Yeah, that's my target.
Brilliant. Have you been surprised at what the year that Luke Littler's had? Is that when we spoke to you this time last year, he just won the junior tournament and he was going into the Worlds.
Yeah, but he was always a massive talent. Yeah. So of course, what he did since is incredible. Good, but not only that, what do you think Luke Humphries has been doing in the last 18 months? Yeah. It's great as well. But I think that's good. More phases, more great battles. People talk about it, then sport gets bigger. Yeah. And we have more to talk about.
I've been in the crowd a few times when this man has entertained.
Yeah.
And I will say he's one of the best entertainers I've seen, from not just from darts, from
a performance
point of view.
Just be yourself. That's enough.
Yeah. But I'm saying you give us in the crowd great moments, and you've inspired a few drinks. Let's put it that way.
You're listening to coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2 with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play this festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations. There are plenty of darts fans doing shoulder presses right now with 180 signs and alongside one of the most recognisable darts tracks that is pelted out here in Northland at Christmas. But who's going to be here after Christmas? Because this is a second round match between Nathan Aspinall and Leonard Gates. Gates trails by 1-0. What did you make of Aspinall coming back to Ali Pali and taking that first set, mate?
Yeah, I thought he was tidy enough, you know. Opening leg, 19 darts. That first leg for anybody, not necessarily Gates, because he's already had a match, so he's acclimatised to the stage and the venue. A 19 dart hold, and then 15 dart legs all the way through. A 15 dart break for Nathan in leg 2, a 15 dart break and throw from Leonard with a beautiful 106 out, and then a 15 dart break of throw to win the set for Nathan, averaging over 91. But the impressive stat, Nico, 3 from 4 on the double, 75%, something we've not seen a lot of tonight.
That's true, taking your chances when you get them, but how much confidence will Aspinall get from winning that first set on a ton-plus checkout?
Yeah, and listen, we're in the perfect vantage point, to be honest. We've got a better comms box position than the actual broadcasters. I'm amazed we're still here. But we're a side of stage. We get to see everything side of stage, but we also get the benefit of seeing the players come off. So we get to see and get a read of the body language, because as they come off, their family, friends, management, sponsors, they're just to the right of us. So we get to see how they react and interact with those people. And Listen, he was bouncing coming off that stage with a big smile on his face. Made a sort of gesture as to say, well, I was a bit edgy there, but I think he looks good.
I think it's really funny that sometimes when players leave the stage, they look to their left and they see people who have never been in a darts match in their life giving advice.
Yeah.
Aspinall has got a lot of experience. He is a two-time ranking major winner in the PDCs. Won the UK Open and the Match Play. They are two very difficult tournaments to win.
Two of the toughest. The UK Open for multiple reasons, but the Match Play is the best 16 players in the world on ranking and the best 16 players on form that year. He's down to 260, leg one of set two, finds a treble. Oh, doesn't follow it. A little bit of a deflection. Down to 175, Gates on throw. Again, he's getting out-muscled here. He's back on 244.
Aspinall adorned in red and black, as he usually is on the stage. Doesn't need an away shirt because his shirt is so recognisable. Leonard wearing ice-cold blue and a bit of black here.
Great fun to be around as well, Nathan Aspinall. Real nice kid. Happy-go-lucky. And he's turned his life around. It's an incredible story, and when it eventually comes out, what a story it will be.
Leonard on 148. He's not going to take it. Single 20 over to the 18s now, and then back to the 20s, doing a bit of a hurdle job here. But he does get the 60 with the last start till he's 50.
Do you want to hit the 57 year, Nico, on 79?
Yes, I think he does as well, but he doesn't. Single 20 lead tops, and he's got that dart firmly in the way, hence he's going left on the hockey. Can he measure when he's comfortable at tops? It's a beautiful dart from Nathan Aspinall to take the first leg of the second set. Measured that one like a bricklayer saying, how many bricks do I need for that wall?
Yeah, especially after the regrip to move left. Of course, it changes not only the angle of entry, it changes the distance, the weight of the dart, the trajectory of the dart. Yeah, I'm one of these, Nick. Maybe it's just me, but I just don't like double 11. So if I hit the 57, I'm sometimes a little bit disappointed on 79.
I'll tell you someone who loves double 11, Adrian Lewis, because 14 years ago he became the first person in history to hit double 11 to win a world title, any world title.
Yeah, you've got one of these rather strange memories of what people have won world titles and what doubles they won them on.
Nothing wrong with being a darts geek.
Yeah, that's another level, though. You actually told me all the doubles that have not been used to win world championships, and there's quite a few, isn't there?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
You would think with the added pressure that you would end up on some quite obscure doubles, but it's actually not the case, is it?
Yeah, a lot of been won on double 16. That's the most frequent one. The last time that was hit to win a world championship was here at Alexandra Palace by Peter Wright in 2022 when he was beating Michael Smith in the final. The last couple have both been won on double 8. Smith and Humphries. Humphries we will see post-Christmas. Aspinall, he's lagging in this second leg of the second set. He's got 200. Gates on 138. He hit this in his previous match.
He did. He's not going to hit it here. Trouble 5 leaves 1, 2, 3, and well, he's made a bit of a mess of that, and he's left 101, allowing Aspinall back into the leg from 200. Single 20. He's lost his scoring boots here. Only 60, and he's a puff of the cheeks, as if to say, what's going on now?
101 for Gates. He's got a big 20 here, down for the 19s, and he strays into the big 7. So he'll have to ask the referee what he's got left here, because he's not the best counter in the world.
You can ask him what's scored, he can ask him what's left, but he finds the 42 to leave 32. George Noble, our referee, one of the most experienced referees in that field. 2 treble 20s, double 10 for Aspinall. He's given it the full beans here. Ooh.
What a first start, right in the 60, and another. Look at a double 10. Stunning effort that was to take this second leg of the second set, but he might be pipped to the post by Gates, who's on double 16. He hits it easily on the inside wire. Aspinall rues that missed double 10. It's 1-1 in the second set.
It just shows you what's in the locker, because there was a purpose on that 140. He just gave it that little bit extra. And I think if it's asked of him, I think he can go through the gears here. At the moment, I think he's just playing Leonard Gates and not the board.
Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing, I feel. I just wonder what Nathan's engine will be like coming into this, because if you want to go deep, you must be able to play best of 11 sets comfortably. And when it comes to the early rounds, if you're not comfortable playing best of 5 sets, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think we've had this discussion before. My prep for Worlds involved playing the distance in the final, and that was after the pre-practice and just getting in a position where you were ready to go. 2 treble 20s for Gates, gets his first max. Is he starting to make a move here, Nico?
Marathon runners don't do 100-meter sprints leading up to the London Marathon, and that's what dart players shouldn't do in the lead up to this. They must practice the format.
Yeah, and sprinters don't do long runs, do they?
Yeah,
certainly not marathons.
You won't see Keely Hodgkinson doing marathons or 100-meter sprints very much. She might do some for a little bit of finishing practice, but the sports personality of the year that pipped stablemate Luke Littler yesterday,
99.
a fitting winner, and Gates is on 138 again.
He did win the Youth Award, didn't he? Which is fabulous.
Many congratulations to Luke for that. But Aspinall is going to get a look at 118. Leonard gets nowhere near that 138. Sprays them all over the place.
He's already had a 114 to win set 1. Oh dear, worst possible dart. Single 1, no finish. Single 20 leaves tops after a treble 19, and Gates here on 96 to lead by 2 legs to 1 in set 2. Treble 20, double 18.
First dart is so far high of the 60, it almost hit tops. What is he doing here? 2 single 20s right in the middle, and in the background Nathan Aspinall's thinking, what are you doing, Lenny? You're supposed to go for the treble on 96. Aspinall is staring at tops like General Zod was looking at Superman, and he's hit it. 2-1 in the second set. This is hard work for Aspinall. Everything is not coming easy, but if there's someone who can dig deep, it's that man from Greater Manchester.
Well, we use the phrase a lot, but in terms of darts, he is like a street fighter, isn't he? He doesn't know when he's beat. He gives it 100% at every opportunity. You'll never see him sort of switch off and coast.
He's a bit like his namesake, Tom Aspinall. He's not a heavyweight, but in darting terms, he is. And he's just been hit on the chin by a Gates 180.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play darts against Nathan than get in the octagon with Tom Aspinall. Thanks. Big darts fan, Tom Aspinall.
We've had some big darts fans in the building over the last couple of days. Jason Bell was here with Phoebe Schechter. Earlier today, Rachel Riley was in the building doing some work with a mathematical charity, which is very, very good from Rach. Famous for Countdown, of course.
Got a load of Celtic footballers in.
Yeah, they had a very good time, didn't they?
I believe so. Well, it's the right colour, is it?
I suppose it is. Never thought about it like that. 2 treble 20s for Gates, down for the 19s. 139 is a good score from 221 to leave 82.
That looked perfect to stay there for me, because he does have a stacking style. Well, this is on the Aspinall throw. This will be the 4th consecutive break of throw if Gates converts 82, and he's going to have plenty of time to do it, because Aspinall's back on 264.
Never question what goes on in the mind of Leonard Gates, because on that single 13 he leaves 69, but if you went into his mind, it'd be like going to Alton Towers with unlimited ride tickets. He missed the 19 on 69. 26. He's making fundamental errors on the approach to the end of leg 4, and he could still be caught even though Aspinall's on 264.
Yeah, Aspinall needed a 140. He's only 58, has a smile to himself, but we're going to see what Aspinall's got in the locker, because Gates will take this 56. He's got the single 16 and gets top. So we go to deciding leg in set 2, and Gates has the throw.
How much did you pay for that crystal ball, by the way?
Just get a feel, didn't he? Just get a sense of what's going on. We've played this game so much, Nico. You We know what's happening.
Mystic Mace strikes again. It's 2-2 in the second set. There will be one more comfort break after this leg, and then they will go toe-to-toe to the end. Will it be 2-0 Aspinall, or will it be 1-all? Could there be more drama coming the way of a Leonard Gates game after the 2 days ago when Cameron Menzies was very evidently upset on the stage, and the reasons for that came out in the wash?
Well, the big power scoring, there's been a shift in this set, Nico. It was all about Aspinall in set 1. Set 2, when you look at the total numbers now, Gates has twice as many 140s and twice as many 180s, because he's hit 2 and Aspinall's not hit 1 yet.
The trend is turning.
60.
And Soldier's got plenty of supporters in this audience. You might think, everybody listening on your smart device or your smart speaker, or in the car or the truck, or even on the train if you're traveling at this late hour, that all of these fans who are all sitting down right now because they love the darts,
60.
They're not all English. There are people traveling here from all over the world to watch. The amount of Norwegian people who have been coming here the last couple of days has got everybody's attention. And it tells us, are we about to get the next Haaland of darts?
Yeah, well, out in the fans village, I've met people, like you say, from Scandinavia, loads from Germany, Belgium, Spain,
60.
America, Australia, Canadians, literally everywhere you can imagine.
So much frustration on the stage for Aspinall right now. Only averaging 78 in this set. He's on 2-2-7. Gates only scores 44, who is switching between 2 sets of darts on the stage. And in previous times, he has got the same construct of dart, but he has different weights up there. He's trying to figure out which weight he needs. This is better from Nathan, but there's only 2 darts on the board. Luckily, they're both in the treble 20.
Yeah, it didn't look like he should stay there. They look precarious. I mean, all 3 of them could have ended up on the floor. Oh, treble 20 for Gates, 94 left. Treble 18 for Tops.
Treble 18 is the shot, Mr. Gates. He goes for it, but hits the single. So 76 left. He will ask the referee what he's got left more than anybody in the tournament. He goes up on that stage with a broken calculator in between his ears. That's a brilliant visit. 138 to leave himself on double 8. If Aspinall takes 107 for his second ton plus checkout to win a set, he will combust.
I fancy him for this, you know.
Downstairs, single 19 leaves 88 with 2. Doesn't get the treble 16.
Wire.
51.
Wire, and his pants might be about to go on fire, because Gates could be extinguishing set 2. Misses double 8 with the first and second, either side, so double 4. Missed again. Aspinall with another big chance missed. He is devastated at something on the stage. I'm not sure what it is, but Aspinall's back to break his heart on 56.
I just don't think he can believe he's missed. Tops for Aspinall.
Set 2, is it going to Aspinall? 1 dart left at Tops, and he's missed it either side. Gates now going for Desmond. 2 2s for set 2 to make it 1-all. We're going to go late tonight. It's going to be midnight darts. We can feel it on talkSPORT 2. Madhouse, double 1 for Leonard Gates. He's well high on the second dart, and he's got it with the third. That was a hard work set. The man from the USA, he really isn't happy about something on the stage. He might have a chat with the referee in between that set and the next. We'll take a short break, but it will be the conclusion on talkSPORT 2 after this, because it's Aspinall 1, Gates 1.
Right, Peter Wright joins the show. Right, Pete?
How we doing?
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, Pete. Obviously, it's massive, this tournament. Love it every year. Comes around. You've played tonight. How did you rate your performance?
What do you think the performance was? It was terrible, but, you know, I got away with it. You know, I'm disappointed for my fans and I think the way I played, but, you know, at least I'm through, you know, until after Christmas now.
Pete, I can tell how disappointed you are in your performance, and sometimes it's about getting the job done, which you've done. What was the part of your game that you feel let you down the most?
All of it.
Right.
I didn't hit trebles, I didn't hit doubles. What do you think? I
saw you a couple of 180s though.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just struggled. I don't know why. The practice was going fantastic for the past week. You know, I felt actually better than I did when I won the Worlds for the first time ever. That's where my mindset was, and it's weird. I can't explain it. But, you know, at least I'm through, and I can only improve now and get it right for the next round.
Pete, got to ask you, obviously the Ali Pali crowd, everyone's been talking about the last 24 hours. The atmosphere has been electric. How good is it to be a part of that?
It's totally fantastic. You know, it was them. You know, I had an interview earlier with Abby on stage, and it was them guys who got me through. You know, they're fed up with seeing me playing rubbish, and you know, they all got behind me, and so you know, it's, you know, you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let yourself down. So you know, they're fantastic, and they all come out here, enjoy themselves, fancy dress, you know, and yeah, it's great for darts.
talkSPORT 2 welcomes you back to North London for some darts after dark. It's 20 past 11, and it is time for the conclusion of the Wednesday darts. Only the one session here tonight in day 4 of the World Darts Championship, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, and only one man can go through to post-Christmas darts in this game, which is currently 1 set all. Aspinall will not be happy with his output at the end, or indeed the entirety of that second set, but he did have a chance to win it. He just missed out, and Gates swooped to take his chance and go through to 1-1.
Yeah, and it was a chance he probably shouldn't have got, but when he was on the 56 to go 2 sets up, I certainly fancied it, but the approach to the hockey, it was almost like he was, rather than aggressively taking on that shot, almost relieved to get a shot. Ultimately, it was Gates that found double one with dart 3, and he levelled things up. Set 2 average, 77 for Aspinall, 79.62, and you spot on, Nico. Nathan will not be happy about the output. Can't remember the last time he hit a 140.
In what other sport that is played in England with an Englishman playing on the stage will you get most of the crowd chanting for the other country? Darts is weird sometimes.
In a good way.
Of course it is. We love darts on the radio, and we do actually have a post tonight from Clive, who's listening on talkSPORT 2. Clive, thank you for your post. He's talking about the sound of the bullseye, and he believes it does have a different sound because of the fixing point of the dartboard behind it, which is a very good point.
And that is where the mic predominantly is placed, on the backing, just above the bullseye.
81.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Aspinall down to 3-2-2. His throw in this set, it's a must-win set, of course. Can't really afford to drop his throw here, and well, I said we haven't had a 140 for ages from him, and he gets one down to 182. Well, Gates 394.
Here's a question for you. When has Nathan Aspinall ever done anything the easy way?
60.
The answer is never.
No, you rarely see him in a game that doesn't have some kind of drama. Treble 20s followed by a deflection into the small 5, picks up 85, down to 97 after 12. This is better. He'd much rather be on a double after 12, but Gates back on 3-3-4. He can't leave a finish from here. Does well with 1-2-2, but he's still on 2-12.
97 for the man in red and black from Greater Manchester. Down for the treble 19 and gets it right at the top of that 57 bed. And when he hit that tops, it actually looked on the stage like there was smoke coming off the point. Incredible visual that was.
Yeah, it was almost like there was some kind of dust there, wasn't it? Chalk dust.
Well, that was fiery. His doubles have been superb tonight. 6 hits from 10 from Nathan Aspinall. And if he's getting chances, predominantly he's taking them.
Yeah, I mean, if he had his normal scoring boots on tonight, he would be doing a job on Gates, who's only averaging 79.
That brings up a really interesting point as Aspinall takes a very, very close look at his equipment right now. I wonder if there's a little burr on the point or something that's just disturbing his grip. But
well, what could have happened there is some of the resin that's in the board could have been forced out, and it's now stuck to his point, and that's maybe what you could see when he hit the tops.
Yeah, when you were mentioning his scoring boots, Aspinall was very proud of the fact that after he won the UK Open, he could afford a certain pair of shoes to play in. And as a result of a fuss being made of those shoes, loads of other dart players have started wearing them. And he said, I don't want to wear the same as you lot. So he's decided to wear something different. He's actually wearing red and black training shoes tonight, which are very coordinated. That's very important to him.
Yep.
But he's been sharpening his points at his designated table on the stage. It's amazing, these dart players having their own table. That never happened with us, did it, mate?
No, you had to share one.
This business class PDC darts these days. Only a ton from Gates from 306. He's got a good lead here, though.
It's enough, yeah. After 12, he still wants 206, but after 9, Aspinall back on 375. 80 with the first 2 darts.
100.
Only a ton. Yeah, this is going to be a tough night for Nathan.
Towel draped from the belt of Leonard Gates. Very much a figure of the American and Canadian dart players. They love something to wipe their hand on. Rob Cross just uses his trousers. He goes through more black trousers than anybody.
And water.
95.
Yeah, good use of the bullseye there from Aspinall. Gets a bull under 25 to leave 180. Gates is on his first bogey number of the night. There will be more. He's got 162.
Shock horror. Starts on the 18s for some reason. Answers on a postcard to all the mathematicians, but does find a treble.
Well, his soft tip behaviour, which is a different version of darts that he plays all over the world. On 162, you can finish with 3 treble 18s. It's probably what he was thinking. Gates is on 64 here. Second leg of the 3rd set. It's 1-1 in sets. 1-0 Aspinall. That may be about to change. Gates has just taken out 64 in 2 darts. Treble 16 and double 8, no problem. 1-1.
Yeah, it's a bit of a theme at the moment, Nico, that on throw, Aspinall is okay. Against throw, he's allowing Gates to have visits that he shouldn't be getting. And I mean that by saying he shouldn't be returning to the board for a 6th or a 7th turn.
Well, that's a 180 from Gates.
And that's the 2nd tip of the night coming in.
He's the only person getting maxes in this game. And what I think is really interesting about Gates' situation is this is a winnable situation right now for the American. Would he go back to Houston for Christmas or stay in the UK? Knowing him, he'll go back and fly back just the way that Bill Davis did when he took out the defending champion John Part in 2009. That was the last time the defending champion lost in the first game of their defence. It was a long time ago, that. But Aspinall has finally got his first max, and he's left himself on 47 for this 3rd leg of the 3rd set.
Yeah, and another example of how efficient he is on throw. 14 darter in leg 1 on throw. Potential here for an 11 dart hold. Double 16, best leg of the match by a country mile. Ooh, inside wire, he was walking. Get back. Get in.
You're going to have to copyright that one. Get back, get in. And then
I think it's something by James Brown, I don't know.
The big come on from Nathan Aspinall. Not even the end of the set, but he was giving that big licks. That was a yelp that could be felt in South London. He's looking at the board like it has done something wrong to him.
He's got a bit of Bob Anderson about him, hasn't he?
Well, here's the thing about a dartboard. It never does anything wrong to you. It just accepts everything you give it. It's never the board's fault. even though dart players will always blame the board. We all have at some point.
Too hard, too soft.
24.
Too many
Dead
wires.
spots, too many wires. Too bright, too dull. Don't like the size of the numbers.
That ball isn't in the middle.
Too high, too low, too long.
140.
That was too
better.
good. That was brilliant from Aspinall. Another 140. All of a sudden, things are starting to churn for him, but he is actively trying to keep his composure. That heart must be racing. Gates with another max. That's his fourth. That gets him down to 237, but it's still advantage Aspinall on 261 here. Only half a dart behind. Way north of the 60 with dart 1. Then below, has to cover.
91.
And that treble 17 is very welcome to leave 170. A very famous shot for him.
Yeah, won the UK Open on the 170. Gates, 2 treble 20s, goes for cover. Should have stayed there. He's down to 98.
170.
But 170 for the set.
Had a 9-darter tonight. Can we have a 170 as well for the fans?
The perfect storm.
First start is a 60. Let's have another. Gets another. Bull! Wow, that was close. The fans always want shots like that. They almost got what they deserved. But now Gates is trying to take us all the way in set 3. He's got 98 left, but that's a 5. Got to get treble 19 and doesn't.
Well, the adrenaline will be flowing with Nathan. He's just got to take a minute because that bullseye was literally, for the attempt, was right on the money. 9 for double 8.
There'll be some volume if he hits double 8 now. Double 4, and the place starts to hush. He misses it well high, about a centimetre and a half. Well north and right.
It's the kind of dart you throw when you think you're going to pull. So you kind of compensate.
That is a single 14 for Gates. This is on his throw. He's now got tops, 2 darts in hand. North with the first one. Second one is also at the same height. And Aspinall has a great chance to win this third set right now with 3 darts in hand at double 4, if he needs them. The Asp on the green double 4 misses right. It's a decent marker, and he uses it perfectly. This is hard work. There was no volume after all, because he is draining his reserves just to try and get this result. This is what this tournament is all about, isn't it, Mace? Because
yeah, you've got to manage your rocky time and try and keep it to a minimum, but also not being too emotionally invested. We see it with someone like even Luke Humphries years ago. He would over celebrate. Ross Smith does it, and you sometimes just leave yourself nothing in the tank.
First game of any tournament is largely noted as one of the hardest because you feel
96.
first round nerves. If you get through your first game, predominantly you will feel more comfortable in your second. Wesley Plazier earlier this week, he was quivering on the stage. When he played Peter Wright last night, he played better, but still missed a lot of chances to afford Snakebite a route through to post-Christmas darts.
Yeah, he was very fortunate, Peter Wright, against Wesley Plazier. 100 for Gates. It's the opening leg of set 4. Aspinall leads 2 sets to 1. He's on 3-1-4, comes for cover with success twice. And he's saying to himself, come on.
One of those moments where a referee wants earplugs because the player is literally inches away and they are shouting
60.
very, very loud. 180 left for Aspinall. Gates 10 adrift. Very much advantage. The man staring through the board. Wanted to go for cover, then decided not
33.
to. But only 33 there after missing the bullseye into the small 8. That's made things complicated.
Well, ultimately, the idea was right. The execution wasn't. Because he was thinking to himself, well, if I don't hit a treble 20 with dart 2 and a single 20, if I hit 25, I leave 130. Much more comfortable finish than certainly 147. Ironically, Gates has left 130.
We know that a 147 is easier than a 9-darter. It was proven this month. But 147 on the dartboard for Aspinall is possible. 57 hit, treble 18 hit, double 18! Excellent attempt. But he's a centimetre north of his double target. Does he get another look? Gates and what is called the small fish. 60 and 20 and bull needed. There is the single 20. He doesn't get the treble. He's missed it by quite some distance into the small one. And Gates is starting to flag here in set number 4. Aspinall's got to take advantage of it on double 18, and does with his first dart. It doesn't have to be brilliant, Nathan. It just has to be good enough. Learn from what Humphries did in the first second round match of the tournament. All you got to do is beat the person in front of you.
Yeah, he was just efficient, and that's sometimes, and I think that's what comes with knowledge and experience. That is something I never quite mastered, to be in a position to go, right, okay, accept that you're not going to be at your best, but find a level which you can maintain that's good enough just to get over the line.
Correct. Hasn't won a ranking tournament, 60. Or indeed a non-ranking tournament this year, Nathan Aspinall, but he did win 2 nights of Premier League darts. Won his second consecutive year in Rotterdam, and he won in Exeter the Thursday night before the UK Open as well.
Didn't he?
He was 5th in the Premier League, missed out on the playoffs. That was ultimately won by Luke Littler. But this is where the most ranking money is dished out by the time we come to the end of January 3rd, where everybody wants to get their fingerprints on the Sid Waddell Trophy. And that will be live on talkSPORT the night of January 3rd.
And the 2nd.
Yeah, we've got the semi-finals for you live on talkSPORT as well. You do not want to miss that. The first world champion of 2025 will be crowned live on talkSPORT. 147 for Aspinall once again. He's determined to get it, isn't he, Mace?
Trying to prove a point, isn't he? Good cover. Gates down to 88 if Aspinall doesn't take the 147, and he's not going to, because that's a big 19. Gets the treble 20. Oh, beautiful. Well, it's all the 8s. He wants 8. Gates wants 88. And this is effectively to stay in the match for me. If it doesn't go, Aspinall will have darts to lead 2-0 in set 4. Oh, what a beautiful bullseye from the soldier. Them Americans love a bullseye.
Especially when they pop like that. They do make a different noise. And the audience make a different noise when he hits that bullseye as well. It's 1-1 in the 4th set. Could things be about to change again? Because Gates has got his 5th maximum. He's got plenty of people here supporting him, and he points to them right now. We're going to get very close to midnight here, and we don't mind that. I'm sure you don't either.
Well, I think they love him because he is so engaging, and there's a swagger about him, but there's also a bit of a vulnerability about him. But he can't back up the 180, 40. Only 40, so Aspinall with a ton to take him down to 401. A 2 treble visit here, and he'll be right back in the leg. He's come for cover. He's been good on the 19s, 2 of them again. He's down to 267. Gates on throw, 281.
Going downstairs on 281 as well. Gets a single 19 and then back up top. 3 singles. It just doesn't make any sense. But then again, a lot of the things that Leonard Gates does, even with all of his success in many forms of the game, he figures it out sometimes. He's got 222. Aspinall, with that ton, has now got 167, 20 more than his favourite finish of the night.
And when I played him, and you shouldn't again, I should have more experience, but I'm watching going, what are you gone that way for? It's like if you were playing cricket with someone and they just started on the ball, you'd be, what have you done that for? 98 from Gates, down to 124. Aspinall for the break wants 167. Only one way to go for this. You can do it in a different order. Well, the opening 2 darts. Gets the treble 20. Oh, just misses the treble 19. Tied is up to lead double 14. Which way is he going to go on this, Nico?
Just don't go bull first on 124. He's got a single 20, needs to get treble 18 for a shot at the ball. He's got it. It's bullseye again, and Aspinall can't watch. He thinks that Lenny's going to hit the button again. Well, he is from America, so in true Ted Lasso style, barbecue sauce. Wrong colour. He gets the guacamole.
Double 14 to break throw. To lead 2-1 in legs, he leads 2-1 in sets. Double 14 puts him a leg away. double 7. Nobody likes it down here. Unless your name's Nathan Aspinall.
He's averaging 88.79 in this contest. He's a good 6 points behind his seasonal numbers. It's been one of the most troublesome and trialing seasons of his career. He's still young, is Nathan. However, he knows this is now his best opportunity to get rid of this game and to be in the post-Christmas darts without any more trouble involving Leonard Gates, and that's how you do it.
In fairness to him, Nico, he is averaging nearly 105 in this set, so in this set specifically, we're starting to see the kind of numbers that he's going to need to have a deep run here and win this match.
140.
Just can't get rid of him, can he? He's just there.
Some players are like that. Aspinall still retains control. He's got 4 perfect darts. He doesn't have a 5th. He's gone into the single 1 after a wicked deflection. 81 is not a bad score to back up the max, though.
No, down to 240. Gates, after the 140 of his own, is down to 361. He's got to win this leg or the match is over. Single 20. Doesn't look particularly attractive, but he finds a way in there.
100.
Ton down to 261, so he's still loitering.
If anybody listening on talkSPORT 2 is a big fan of Bullseye, they'll know that if you don't win on the gamble, you only get BFH, bus fare home. Aspinall's trying to give Gates AFH, airfare home. That's a great first start from Lenny in the 60, but then has to wait until dart 3 to get another one. He leaves 1-2-1, which will be to save the match. Aspinall 184 looking to crush that. Only 2 singles, then goes for cover, but only gets a small 1. Now he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's in a world of trouble. He's left himself a horrible finish, which is up, down, and left if he gets to go. Leonard Gates, 121. Well, there's a couple of options, but the sensible one is the 20. But he's missed the treble. He's got the treble 17. Wants ball.
Bullseye again. And he's got the wrong colour this time. It's in the southwest corner of the 25. This 143 for Aspinall, the number 12 seed. It is for the match to get rid of everything that has been so troublesome in the last 40 minutes of game time. Only a small 20 to start. He's going to need more misses from Gates to get a chance.
64.
Only 64, but that was a very interesting last start to leave 79. Gates 25, 2-1 down in sets, 2-1 down in legs. Needs to hit this double 8 now to save the match. Doesn't. He's on double 4 in the northeast corner, and he misses. So Aspinall now has 79 points to finish off this second round match, to confine Leonard Gates to his second round exit in 2 visits here over the last 3 seasons. Single 19 is found. Second dart is a single 20. Tops for Aspinall to win. It collides with his own flight and falls to the floor after piercing the single 20. It was never in. But double 2 for Gates. If this goes in, we're going the distance in set 4.
Yeah, and it was interesting in the back of shot. Gates was doing the ghost throw, just trying to loosen the arm. So Aspinall is being asked the question all over again. He was 40 points away from being safely through and coming back at Christmas, and now he's back to 501 points away. And Leonard Gates is straight in the 60.
100.
Just getting a little bit of discomfort in his left arm there, Lenny. Just giving it a bit of a rotation on the stage. A wise thing to do when things start to get tight.
96.
Aspinall keeping company there with 1 treble of his own to leave 405 after 3.
The match is 18 legs old. Well, this is the 18th leg. And a 140 from Gates puts Aspinall in a world of trouble.
Leonard Gates is like perpetual motion. He can go all night long.
Oh, I remember him qualifying for the Champions of Champions and then playing his match in the afternoon and playing in the competition at night.
That's how much he loves the sport. He's on 176 and he's massively in front here by 170 points. Aspinall's got a treble 20, but it's floppy in there. He has to cover. Single 7 and a single 19, and at this point right now, if Aspinall is not thinking this is going all the way, he's a lot more positive than we are. 176 for Gates. Only comes down by 41.
Yeah, now here's a chance for Aspinall from 260. Minimum is a ton to leave a finish, of course, but he'd love to leave himself 80 or 120.
Just a little bit of a pause there. Symptomatic of some of the troubles he's had this year. He's going to get 2 trebles minimum. He's got the lot. He wants that to be the last 180 of his game. He's left 80. But if Gates finds 135, there's going to be one more set on Wednesday.
Does he know how to take this out, Nico? Does he? Yeah, he's gone for the ball but missed it by a long, long way. It's a single 2. So Aspinall on 80. Treble 20, double 10. Just keep them down the line. Doesn't want to stray left or right here, be in a world of trouble. He would then need a treble, of course. Well, unless he goes 5 and 25 ball.
This place is going quiet. He's hit a 1. He has not listened to Uncle Chris.
What do you do here, Nico? Treble 13.
79. He might think he's only got 1 shot.
He has been good on the 57, though.
He's gone treble 13, and he hasn't got it. So 66 left, and he gets the treble 10. Now he's in position to win this match 3-1 on double 18 if Gates does not take 94. Don't take these shots for granted. Treble 18 needed, only gets a single, so he's got 76 left. So many options. Could go double-double in 2 different departments.
Just said he's got 72 left, and George said no, 76.
That's why he checks. 76 remain.
And he didn't used to check, and that's why he used to make so many errors.
Doesn't get a treble 20, so now Aspinall does get a look at double 18
but
to win.
He's left Aspinall hanging around a lot, and the nerves can build. Double 18 for a place in the post-Christmas championships.
1 match start missed already at tops in the previous leg for Nathan Aspinall. He's missed double 18 just high with his first shot. His second dart is imminent. And it hits! A tumultuous 45 minutes of game time for the Asp. The number 12 seed has succeeded in getting into the 3rd round at Alexandra Palace. He'll be wondering how he's done so. He's worked so hard. He looks like he's run a marathon, but he's only gone through 4 sets. And it's going to be first 2 4 sets after Christmas. What a game that was.
Yeah, that was tough. Seriously hard grab. It was only 11-7 in legs, despite the 3 sets to 1 scoreline, but that was a tough old game. 18 legs of what felt like drama from start to finish. Only finished with an 88 average, and he will play the winner of, well, Lukman will be facing Nitin Kumar first, and then the winner will be playing Gilding. The winner of that will play Nathan Aspinall. Oof.
Is it a good thing that he hasn't got a clue who he's playing coming into this game, because it could be one of 3 players?
Yeah, sometimes you can be guilty of just almost mapping out your route, and that can just distract you, and I think it would just be relief for him to get back on stage, make a winning start. There was some great moments in there. There was a great 12-darter, there was some 180s in key moments, there was some big finish attempts that were only narrowly missed, and listen, all in all, Nico, the average is irrelevant. The place in the next round is the important bit.
Yeah, people through tonight. Paolo Nebrida for the first time into round number 2. Matas Razma beating Christian Kiss by 3 sets to 1 after Kiss hit a 9-darter to win the first set. Ricky Evans, he was tumultuous against Gigi Mathers, who really should have beaten him. And Aspinall, who is leaving the stage right now exhausted. He can barely walk. It's going to be tough for him to do his post-match press conference, but it's been great to have your company over the last couple of matches. We will be back tomorrow from 12:30 with a double session of darts, including Michael Smith against Kevin Dutz, and we will have Scott Williams against Nico Springer. That's in the evening session, As for the afternoon, we'll start with Chris Lamon against Lockie Lee and Callan Ridds against Romeo Gerbevats. But for now, we'll say goodnight from Alexandra Palace. Next on talkSPORT 2, it's My Sporting Life with Danny Kelly in conversation